I have not been here in a while, but today we are going to show how to make these little gnomes. These are soap dough embeds. I have been wanting to make gnome soap for a while, and I'm so excited. Wait until you see the soap that these are on top of. I am beyond happy. Anyway, these little guys have leaves on their hats, and they're so cute. I've built up their backs so that they could be pushed into the soap and not have to have their front side into it and disappear. You can see the whole Gnome. And we are just doing heads. You know, we don't need bodies. We can decapitate them and pretend that they live on. It's fine. I've got my handy dandy water to erase any finger marks, although you can't actually trace my fingers on these. I just figure, in case anyone got some crafty ideas, I'm safe. That, and it looks good. That's not the real reason, I swear. We have my utensils. We have big blocks of soap dough. I've got brown, orange, a beigey color I mixed up, and green. I'm sure you have already guessed these are harvest gnomes. I love all things fall. We stan everything fall, autumn, Halloween, spooky horror here. And these are more on the cutesy side, more cottagecore. But I just love them. Oh, did you see that magic? I'm talented. Okay, so we have a nice little ball. We're going to squish this on up. And, you just want to, the first thing you want to do with your soap dough, obviously, is get it really smushy, workable. Similarly with clay, you got to work it a little bit first. So now we're going to kind of just roll out a oblong shape, kind of like a large almond. We want the fat body and we want a kind of skinny top. And then I'm just going to really roll out that top so that it's long. I wanted a nice long hat with a little curve at the end. I know I'm using some real magical tools here. Fingers. Now you do not have to be a soap maker to make these. You can make them out of anything you would like. You can make them for bakery products. You can make them out of clay. Whatever. It's universal. Soap dough is very similar to fondant and clay. You get a very similar effect, except you get to wash your hands with it. I love it. It's magic. And to all those funny people out there that say, I can't use that, that's too pretty. It's meant to be used. You should enjoy what you're using, right? Who wants to wear an outfit that they don't like? Who wants to eat food that looks icky? You don't save your plate of food because it looked good. You don't not eat the cake because it was pretty. You eat that cake. Anyway, we're cutting out a nice little block here because I'm going to situate the beard into it later. So you just set this a bit aside. You can use it for another gnome later. I put it over on top of my other block. And we're just going to shape up that hat now. You give it a little curly cue, much like a candy cane, but, gnome. And we're getting there. Look at that. I'm just measuring here to make sure we are somewhat similar in size. I want everything to be fairly uniform. They can be a little different. Obviously, these are handmade. You will never get two of the exact same product, but we like them to be similar. And whoosh, did you see that magic? Oh my goodness. It's almost as if I did a transition and put that underneath my hand. I would never though. Anyway, we're going to make this into the beard. Oh, yeah, orange beards. Because pumpkins and fall, all things glorious. Oh, yeah. So we squash it on up. I'm going to pinch the bottom, make it into a little bit of a triangle-y shape. And then I'm just going to snip off the top with a nice trusty dandy dandy Knife. Yeah, exciting. Of course, this is a plastic one, because we don't, want to do anything #dangerous on here. And we're going to use some of this handy dandy water now. Oh, it is magic, the things that it can do. You'd put just a teeny tiny bit up in the body here, that cavity we carved out. We're going to fill that cavity, but unlike, anything that has treats in it, it's going to have just a beard. I'm sorry, it's only for washing. Again, no candy. Any hoodle, we just squash it in. You squish it. Because it's okay if this part doesn't come out beautiful. We're going to fix it up in a moment. You want it to really stick in there. You don't want your beard coming off when you're putting it on top of your soap, because then you end up with a beardless, faceless gnome, and no one wants that. We like gnomes to have faces here, although I will admit a dead-eyed gnome would be kind of cool, but I don't put no eyes on them, so we don't have any eyes to make into dead eyes. So I use my special little pressy, slicky tool here. We don't need professional names. This works. You squish it in. It's good. It's dandy. It's beautiful. A little bit more water on that line just to smooth it out a little bit. Sometimes some parts, like the top of the hat there, is a little, I had to press into that to get it down. So a little bit of more water and a little bit of roly action, and we have it nice and smooth again, just like the others. It's quite magical. So for anyone that gets upset because things don't look quite perfect when they first do them, it's okay. No one makes them that way. You do touch-ups, you make it nicer, you fix it. That's how it works. When I first cut my hair as a teenager, it did not come out nice, but I kept chopping and chopping until it eventually did. And that's what we're going to do with the beard now. We're going to give it some choppy action. You take the little prickly end of this, and I just kind of stab it in. Take out all that aggression. This is great for any angry people. Making hair, fantastic. I just put in a bunch of little lines so that it's all roughed up. We want a nice fluffy beard, and then I take a little roll ball dot of the beigey color, and I dab it in the middle between the hat and the beard, and voila, we have a nose. Now, did I add a little bit more off screen? Yes, I did. It was too small, but you don't need to see every single part. It's dabbing a dot in the middle of a face. Self-explanatory. Now, we're going to make this guy match his comrades. They have something on their hat. He doesn't. Now, yes, this is more of a woodland type gnome. Nothing scary or gory here, but someday I plan to make a horror gorecore gnome. So leave some suggestions down below for what you might like to see on their hats. Maybe some things I can incorporate. I would love to hear it. Blood is on the table. Obviously, we're not gonna, harm any gnomes for that, but I do make a pretty good dupe out of soap. And through a little bit of pressing magic action here, you put some little lines in it, and suddenly it goes from being a weird oblong green blob to being an actual leaf. It looks magic, and it helps keep it on the hat. Now, thank you for joining me for my oddness that is my life of a soap maker. I hope you enjoyed these. I want to see what you made if you made gnomes too.